And welcome to In the 661, Youth Voices for Kern, where we talk about topics and discuss them, particularly not just things that are involving the entire community, but targeted really towards our youth here in Kern County. And joining me now is Gina Guzman, a parent in the Lamont area and also promotora.
Yes,
Thanks
I am
for joining us. So
Thank you.
Gina, I wanted to talk to you about this because it's been in the news a lot lately. It's been online, it's been in the newspaper, it's been on TV. A push to get a high school in Lamont, and you're for that. Why?
We have the need, one, because there's so many children that go to Arvin High that have parents that work in the fields. And if in the morning, if they miss the bus, it's very hard for the parents to get them to the school, to Arvin High. Many parents have to work, and if they work, they cannot leave the work because then they're the ones that provide for the family. So it's very hard for the parents also.
And there was a recent high school board meeting where it was discussed, and from my understanding, the board decided not to move forward at this point. What was your reaction to that being there?
When I was able to speak, I went up to the podium, and I felt as if it was very important for me to be there as a parent, and also as for a community, because a community needs for us to speak up, and also our children. We have many people that don't have any voice. They're afraid to speak, so it's very important that if you see the need to speak, even though your student might not be going to Arvin High, then it's very important for you to speak up also. The board did mention that there was no budget, and that maybe in 2019, 2020, they might look into reserving some money for the high school. So there is hope.
So let's go down the list then, if you will, because the first one was that there is no budget, which you just addressed. The other issue that they brought up, from my understanding, is that the population just isn't quite just there yet. Yes. They've got enough students at Arvin, but it's not at critical mass to the point that you would have enough capacity where you would need to build another school in Lamont. What do you say to that?
There would be about 1,200 students in Lamont, and the overpopulation in Arvin is more than 500. And they do have classrooms set up. There's about 29 bungalows that were added. And in the year 3000, there's gonna be more than 3,000 students. In the year 2020, there's gonna be more than 3,000 students. So it's very important that we look ahead also. And the population is growing. There's more, there's gonna be affordable housing coming into Lamont. And Lamont is growing. And we have to also take care of the children that are gonna be our future.
In the meantime, though, school officials have said they've addressed some of the problems. I want to go down some of the list. One of them is as you were mentioning, not having enough access to school buses or parents not being able to get their kids to school on time. Crowded lunch tables. They said they've added more lunch tables out there so there's enough space for the kids to eat. And also there's a complaint about kids getting through the school lunch line on time, and they say they've worked on all those issues. Do you feel satisfied that they've worked on those issues and that it's going to tide you over until they can revisit it in a couple of years?
I can say yes, it's okay, but really the children, when it's hot, they have to sit out in the sun, and when it's cold, they have to do the same. So if they had appropriate tables, maybe added another room, something to help them. They cannot concentrate if they're sitting out in the heat, and then they have to go back in and maybe have a test. Their concentration is going to be affected. So that's very important also.
So, but do you think that the measures that they have put in place already are going to be effective to get you guys over for a couple of years, or?
We are hoping. We're so used to the way that we are living. But if we see changes, I'm pretty sure that the children cannot live with this stress. The stress of, am I going to be able to go to school on time? Do I have to get up at 5:30 o'clock in the morning? So less stress for the children is better, better for their health also. How
do you think the way things are currently set up and situated with the school right now in Arvin, how do you feel that compares to other areas? Do you feel that the kids in that area are getting shortchanged compared to other kids?
Yes, they are.
And why do you feel that way?
Because there's so many people failing, so many students failing classes because there's not enough teachers or aides to go one-on-one with the student. If the classroom is big, they don't have that time. I'm pretty sure the teachers would like to help, but there's too many students.
Is that a problem, though, you think that affects other schools, or is it just this particular
I'm
area?
pretty sure there's other schools. The bigger the classroom, the more hard it is for the teachers to teach a one-on-one basis.
So what's next for you? I mean, considering that the high school district seems to have made a decision on this, what is the next step for you and other teachers? Not other teachers, but other parents and potentially teachers, but other students as well in the district?
I'm going to keep going to the board meetings. That's very important that we attend them because I want them, the fire's still here. And if you stop going to the meetings and they're going to say, well, I think they're okay with what I've said. And no, it's not okay. We do need the Lamont School. And it's very important that when we fight, that we involve the communities. Take your children to the meetings so they can learn how to advocate for themselves and others that need it.
Do you think that you've gotten received resolution for now that they're making the improvements? By speaking up, you've gotten the improvements that you've wanted so far?
No, I think that they still need to work on the buses and the lunch. The lunch is very important also because if the children have to rush through the lunch hour, they're not going to be able to eat comfortably and then go back to the classroom and have that conversation or the test or whatever the teacher is planning for them. So I think work has to be done.
How do we improve the situation of education, not only in Arvin and Lamont, but throughout Kern County?
I think that by looking at the situation with the teachers, how many classrooms have more than 30 students? How many are there in the classroom? I think that's very important.
So we have a quality of education that, I mean, I think everyone wants to improve everything that they do, whatever line of work they are, but how do we also increase funding for schools when it seems like in a time like this, there isn't enough money? I mean, that's what the high school district is suggesting, that there isn't enough money there yet to be able to do some of the things they'd like to do.
I think when they look at the funding, they should take that into consideration, and that will help them plan for the future.
All right. Well, Gina, we will continue to follow the story and see how things kind of progress with this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And
You're
thank you
welcome.
for watching In the 661 Youth Voices for Kern.